Sydney Wheeler, BLACKTREE TV. How are you all? I'm so excited to get to talk to you all again.
Yay,
Yes,
we're great.
great.
We missed you all so much from last season to this season. I think the fans did as well. What are you guys most excited for the fans to see this season?
Ooh, um, you may share this. I'm very excited for the fans to see our new horror villain. We're hoping to truly terrify and unsettle some of our horror fans. We think Bloody Rose is truly an icon of horror, and really excited to introduce her to everybody.
Mhm.
And it's summertime, so it's a whole new vibe. It's a whole new feeling. And I always think, because it does feel like a very long break, it's just exciting to get them back on the air because I know people have been waiting and miss them. And so we're just really excited that it's just about that time.
Agree with both of those. Like it's
Mhm.
just exciting for people to get to reconnect with this group of friends and be a part of this crazy adventure.
Absolutely. The season started off with a bang, so we're definitely
In
in.
agreed,
We're
agreed.
in. So, I think I actually read the series by Sarah Shepard growing up. Are there any nuggets that fans can maybe pick up from the books? I know we ask a lot about like the first the original PLL. Anything or any inspiration that was taken from the books?
That's a really good question. There are definitely more Easter eggs to the OG series.
Okay.
Yeah, there's almost an act. This is a very this was accidental, but it's funny. I was kind of revisiting the books. They're so amazing. They're so good, and kind of rereading them. We're such huge fans of Sarah Shepard as well. And in one of the books, I noticed there was a character named Imogen, and I was like, oh my God, that's so very like deep cut and such a coincidence and not the same character. But I thought, wow, it's such a specific name.
Yeah.
It's not like a Jan or something a little more known. So I thought, wow, that's so kind of interesting. I always love when you discover something like that, like a weird connection that's unintentional.
Yeah. So I know we talked about this already, but from the horror genre, who is responsible for just cranking this up a notch? I was scared watching this in broad daylight. So who's responsible? Who's the horror junkie on set?
We
We
both
both are.
are.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like, no, Lindsey and I worked together on Sabrina. I think
Mhm.
we bonded immediately over our love and obsession of horror movies. Um, and we like the character of Tabby. We both worked at our local movie theater and we both reference horror movies all the time. And what's funny is like, sometimes we'll get notes from the executives that say, characters don't spend this much time talking about horror movies. I'm here to tell you, all
We
we
do.
talk about is like the first omen. All we talk about is like, how does the first omen compare to Immaculate?
Immaculate.
How does it compare to the Nun 2?
Rosemary's
Yeah,
Baby.
all that's all like we do. We'll be on these Zoom calls or calls and we'll say, no, guys, that is what we're talking about. So
Mhm.
we're both horror fanatics, and honestly, in the room, it's populated with either people who were horror movie fanatics or people who wisely quickly became horror movie fanatics
Yeah.
Mhm.
because that was just what we were in dialogue with.
Totally. It's funny. I after season one, I was invited to speak to a high school film class. And we were of the opinion too. We think that young people are so savvy and like we were cinephiles when we were young, and we think that, we love a good TikTok, but we still think there are those teenagers out there who are discovering these films. And it was so impressive and refreshing to have young 15-year-old and 14-year-old kids ask me what my favorite Dario Argento film was. And it was like, this is amazing, and asking about themes and horror. And so it was really fun to kind of have that conversation, bring that back to the writers writer's room and say, wow, like young kids are, they're so into these movies. They're so excited about these movies and these characters. They're loving the show for this reason. So let's just give ourselves permission to infuse everything and just go full out with our love of horror. And, you know, we have such an amazing archetype, our character Tabby, who is a cinephile, who is a horror filmmaker. Having her as our savvy guide through all of this is just so much fun.
Okay, well, now I have to ask, in the last 5 years, recent horror films, what's been like, oh my God, maybe not favorite, but just wow.
Talk
for everyone.
Talk to me in
Talk
the
to me.
year for sure. Blew me away.
Talk to Me was great.
That blew me away.
I truly loved the first Omen.
Same.
I just saw it in the theater. My husband was working, and I saw it alone. And I was walking home, and I was like, "Oh my God, I'm kind of scared right now." Gosh, what were the other big horror movies recently?
We love Immaculate. We talked about Immaculate.
Yep.
Yeah, Talk to Me for me just kind of blew me away, because it also in a way that we do, it was a horror film about grief, and I found that to be really, really remarkable.
And I think it was more than 5 years ago, but I also like Hereditary,
grief horror,
couldn't sleep after that. And honestly, Midsummer, which also kind of influences, especially the second half, like towards the second half of the season.
Ooh.
like that. But the truth, it's funny, but as my dad says to me, there's never been a horror movie that I've met that I haven't liked. Even the bad ones, I'm happy watching it. I was watching, you know, I'm not even going to name them because I love them all, but we
love a Piranha 3D as much as we love The Exorcist.
Exactly.
Piranha 3D.
Exactly.
Karen, what about you?
I was going to say Hereditary too. The two I saw were Hereditary and Midsommar, and they're both. Wow. And also, they're just getting so sophisticated, right?
Big time.
It's which really speaks to the fact that the genre is strong, and you know, that people are really. It used to be, I feel like, it just felt like it was just like the one-offs, or you know, now they're just so intricate and cinematic, and I mean, it's just getting better and better. Yeah.
Agreed.
Absolutely. We've heard so many different things.
What's your favorite recent horror movie?
Okay, so I'm a scaredy cat.
Okay.
Honestly, I thought Parasite was a horror movie. I was like, this is so scary.
Very tense. Very tense.
Brilliant.
The cast, we've heard Ready or Not. We have heard Gentlemen. Yeah, those were great. But the Parasite was enough for me to be like, okay. Even the couple of episodes that I saw, I'm excited for fans to see as well.
Good.
Hey.
Yes. Well, thank you guys so much.
Thank you.
Bye, guys.
Bye, Sydney.